Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. My name is Austin and this is Cypress and Sparrow Homestead. And in today's video, I want to share with you my honest review of what 1 month of having Starlink internet has been like. I'm going to share some pros, some cons. We're going to do a speed test at the end, and then I'll reveal if I think Starlink internet is worth it. Real quick, in 15 seconds, if you're not familiar with Starlink, it is a company created by Elon Musk to provide high-speed internet to rural areas. It does this by having a system of low-flying satellites that allows for high upload speeds, high download speeds, and low latency. So with that being said, what have been the biggest pros that I have noticed from Starlink internet? Prior to having Starlink, we were using AT&T hotspot. That was really the only option out here. There was another company that had satellite internet, but it was so slow, and it was going to be a few $100s a month just to get bad internet, really. So we were using hotspot data and it worked, but it definitely had its drawbacks. And in a lot of those areas, Starlink was able to remedy those things. So what has been the biggest pro? The biggest pro is it's been extremely fast. It really has. They promise 50 to 200 megabits per second download speed, and we have pretty much fallen in that range the entire time. I would guess we're usually around 80 to 100 megabits per second download speed. And previously, when we were using our hotspot, it was like 15 to 20 megabits per second. So that's like 5x what we were previously getting. The biggest area that I've seen this though has definitely been upload speed. Examples being when I upload a YouTube video, it is so much faster. It used to take 12 plus hours to upload a YouTube video, and now it's usually done in a matter of hours. If I'm uploading documents for work, it goes so much quicker than what we were using previously. And I want to say off the top of my head, it was around 5 megabits per second upload speed on our hotspot, and now it's about 20 to 30 upload speed, depending on the day. So that's been the biggest pro, is it has delivered on its promise of high-speed internet. The next pro, and this one can't be undersold, is there is no data cap on the Starlink plan as of right now. So previously we had a 40 gigabits per month data cap, and we only crossed that a couple times. And as long as we weren't watching videos or downloading videos or streaming anything visual, it was okay. We really would never hit our cap. But as soon as you start streaming videos or video calls, we burn through that data so fast. So with Starlink, they don't have any data caps, which is nice because now we're able to stream video, we're able to do as many video calls as we want, and we don't have to worry about getting cut off, 5 days before our plan renews or whatever. So that's been a huge, huge benefit to Starlink, is no data caps. And as far as I know, they're not coming anytime soon. Fingers crossed. The last biggest pro that I have is it was extremely easy to set up. Minus having to go up onto the roof and mount the satellite, it was extremely easy to set up. It took maybe 10 minutes to download the app, to configure it to my phone, and then to access the internet, our router on the computer. And right away we had internet. We didn't have to wait for any buffering time or anything. It worked immediately. Okay, so what have been the biggest cons? The first has been that there have been outages. I think twice in the first month we have noticed where Starlink has been out for an extended period of time. And extended period of time, I mean like 10 minutes or more. I think there was one time where we were down for about 30 minutes, and then another time was around 10 minutes. So that has happened twice in our month of having Starlink. So in the app here, it says you're able to see how many outages you've had. So this is actually, if I'm scrolling through here, it says there's a lot of outages, but these outages last for 15 seconds or less, so they're not really noticeable at all. And most of them are because of obstruction. So that would be my next con, is you have to have an absolutely perfect, clear sky or no obstructions at all for it to be fully operational. So we have, just by where we're at, we have about maybe 10% of the zone that is just barely covered by the tips of some trees. And that causes some obstructions, as you can see here. But it hasn't caused any major issues. We've never gone, like I said, I don't think we've gone any more than a half hour without it, which for some people that's a huge deal. For us, it's not the best, but it doesn't affect our day-to-day life. So you have to have a perfectly clear northern sky to not run into this issue. And just based off of our trees and our landscaping in our house, we don't have that. So that is a drawback. And then the only other con is the price. It is $99 a month to pay for your plan, which is not the most expensive, but it's by far not the cheapest internet. When we were living in the cities, we had Comcast internet, and that was like $40 a month for like high-speed internet. So it's at least double to what you would get in the cities. The initial cost, as well as a year ago, we put our down payment of $99, and then we waited and waited and waited some more. And finally, after a year of waiting, we received an email saying, please pay the rest of your first payment. So we ended up paying $580, which included that initial $99. And then it was shipping, tax for our router, our satellites, all the cables, and our first month of internet. So total, it cost us $580 to get everything set up and have ready to go for the first month. Plus we waited a year. And after that initial setup, it's $99 a month. Now there have been rumors that the company is trying to streamline some things, make the satellites and the routers a little bit less expensive. I don't know what that means, but there are talks that they're trying to work down that initial payment. As well, Elon Musk himself has said that in the future, when more people are signed up for Starlink and the company is able to recoup some of the costs that they had initially with sending up the satellites into the atmosphere, the monthly price should be lowered from $99 a month to something lower. Now, there's no timetable for that. There's no guarantee that happens, but when the CEO of the company says that, it's usually a good sign. So if you're thinking about Starlink, I wouldn't hold your breath for those things to happen, but know that that could be coming down the line in the next 6 months to a year. So those have been the biggest pros and cons. I'm gonna do a live speed test now so you can really see what the speeds are where we're at. We are in rural Wisconsin. You can go back to the first video and see what the speeds were when we were on our old internet, which I think was like 15 download speed and like maybe 7 upload speed, megabits per second. So really not fast at all. All right, so I'm gonna show a test on my laptop here and we can see what some of the ranges are that we're getting. All right, so we are on speedtest.net, speed test by Ookla. This is the one we did last time too. And I'm going to try and see what we can get for some numbers here. My guess is that it'll be around 80 megabits per second download speed and maybe like 15 upload speed. But we will see where we are at. Okay, I could be totally wrong. This, unless it falls off here. All right. 184 megabits per second, 184 megabits per second download speed. So way faster than I anticipated, but it falls in that range of about 50 to 200 for download speed and 7 upload speed, megabits per second. So take those numbers as you will. I'm gonna do one more test just to see if they're accurate, to see if it changes anything. But we'll do it one more time. See, this is interesting now. So there it dropped in half. And I'm not really sure why, but that looks more usual to what we have been getting for speeds. So it looks like it's going to be around 3.5 megabits per second upload speed. So there we go. So maybe do I do it a third time just to see? All right, there's our third numbers there, 175 and 449. I'm just gonna say it's anywhere between 50 to 200, like they promised, so which is far better than what we were getting before. And I think also it does depend on time of the day. Obviously, it depends on your area too, because then that will tell where the satellites are revolving around the Earth. There's our speed test. All right, so do I think Starlink is worth it? For us, it is. We do a lot of video calls for work. We do a lot of having to upload documents. And then for things like YouTube, we need fast internet to upload, to be able to rewatch videos, stuff like that. So fast internet, high-speed internet is a must for us. But if you're someone that doesn't use internet for work, if you're someone that streaming movies and videos isn't really a hobby of yours, or you don't necessarily, that's not how you spend a lot of your time, maybe the price might be a little bit too much. So I believe if you are looking for high-speed internet and you have not found a solution yet, I do recommend Starlink. Just know that it took us a long time to get our product that we ordered, to get our internet. It was over a year that we were on the waiting list. Even before we closed on our house, we were on the waiting list for Starlink. I do think it's only going to keep getting better, and I believe that the costs are slowly going to go down as more and more people come into this space and start to use Starlink. But for right now, for us, it is worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are curious and you want to see the unboxing video that we did and how we set it up, you can go and watch that video right here.